How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to the Master League here on PES 2020 with your Serie B champions for 2019-20, Valencia, as we have run the table in the league here in our first season as manager and shocked a lot of pundits as Valencia was not picked to be better than at least mid-table coming into this campaign, but they seem to have run amok down in Serie B, winning the title by 5 points. It was a competitive season for Ericsson in his debut, changing up the culture down there in Valencia, as now they go back up to Serie A for next season. But in the meantime, let's get on with this episode. This whole entire episode is just going to be the offseason between this point where we left off in the last episode up until the first game of the next season. So you're going to see a lot of off-season moving about. Before we end this season, we'll go over the stats real quick, but I'll give you guys a quick update on what we've got lined up here. And we'll take a look at the players that we're putting in bids, or bid-a-wee, I should say, we've already signed. We're going after another winger here in Holdener from the Swiss League, Lugano. Going to try to bolster our attacking options here, as we could use him. We still got Monaco. We haven't signed yet. We're going to hold off on him because we've signed another defender here in Rizzo. Another loan player from Cittadella we just signed for next season, so he's going to bolster our fullback spots. And then we're going after a keeper here. He's a keeper on a free transfer. This Tukanens here, and I believe he's playing in Belgium right now, so could be a potential number one keeper for us, as there's plenty of keepers available. So that's the best one we were able to find that was willing to take a deal. So we'll get these deals finalized and get these players in the club here before the July 1st window opens back up. In the meantime, a couple of issues with the squad that we have to address. We got to get some players signed, and mostly it's going to be Caligari here. He's our third best player according to market value at 2.1 million euros. You can see his release fee is very low. We've been trying to re-sign Caligari for the entire year. He's just been rejecting every extension. His contract is up at the end of August, so it's imperative we sign. And more importantly, you can see a lot of teams are sniffing around for the Italian midfielder who had a pretty good campaign under Ericsson. He really bloomed as a really solid starter for his side coming in near the midpoint of the season after being kind of overlooked overall, but had a solid performance nonetheless. But I think Ericsson's primary goal is to get him signed up to a deal. That way we can not have to worry about losing another midfield piece. We've got a few other deals that we've been rejecting. Bocalone has got an offer in from Benvenuto. Could see him go. We're going to wait and see until just before the end of the window to see here, before the window opens back up, to see if we'll sell him or not. It's going to be, we can't negotiate anymore. Everybody else we've either re-signed or is leaving. Seccaroni, we've accepted a deal for him to go to Ascoli this next season. Cheap transfer fee. He's buried in the depth chart. Wasn't too keen on this. And then Palmini has accepted a free transfer to Perugia. A little disappointing there. I was banking him to be my third goalkeeper in the rotation, but he seems to have flown the coop. So now we've had to scramble to find another free transfer of our own to replace him. And obviously, we still got some more players. One of the big names starters that will be looking to go out this season is Lakovic as well. His contract's coming to expire, and quite honestly, he's failed to impress. At least in my opinion, he's been very hard to play with him. He's our best defender overall based on market value, but he sure doesn't play that way. And one, his salary is well over my cap, and there's no way I can get it down for his current role in the club. So I think it's best if we send him on his way, so to speak. Alright, so that is the update on the squad. So we're going to go right ahead here and simulate up to the next cutscene here. So I'm just going to keep this thing rolling. I may cut. I'll let you know when I cut to make some significant changes, but we're going to sim all the way up to the season here, see if we can get some deals finalized here. So we'll take a look. Got some call-ups, goalkeeper. Alright, so we're getting some favorable offers here. Counter offers for Bocolone. Caligara has renewed his contract, so Caligara is willing to sign an extension. That is good news for us. Oh yeah, we put in a contract extension for Deliso. So he's maybe wanting to re-sign too, so that's a good sign. Okay, so let's take a look at the negotiations here of our side. So Caligara, 152,000 proposed salary. I'm going to work to knock this down, but I'm going to do it very slowly and take my time with it because I don't want to lose this player. This release fee at 4.2 million, not too bad. 2 years is more than reasonable for him. By the time 2 more years of growth, he could really be a very good player as long as we keep growing him. So, okay, Fortaliso has been okay with the deal. He wants a lot of money. Oof. All right, we'll try and talk him down the ledge here. You know, he's not making a whole lot, which is understandable, and he wants a bonus too. That's a little annoying, but let's work with him here. I'm not gonna give him crazy here. I need to get him down to about 108, so let's knock it down 194. Let's keep negotiating here. If it falls through, it falls through, but that way we can try to get him on a little better friendly contract so we don't lose him. Bocolone, now he's really been impressive. Only had 20 starts, 7 goals. He's really, I think he found a solid place on this team as a player coming off the bench. He's declining. He's a bit older, and it looks like they don't want us to go. Yeah, so they're only going to be paying 1.1 million. Again, let's wait to pull the trigger on this until after we get to the next sim, which I believe will upgrade their market values for all the players because the new club rankings come out, and that's the time when the game reconfigures everybody's market value. And I think that's all I have for those. Let's check all the other teams. Let's keep this ball rolling. So the lone player, let's go ahead. And again, since we're on hard difficulty, I'm going to take my time negotiating these things down as much as they're willing to go. Of course, if these guys give me some pushback, then I'm not going to re-sign them. Okay, so the keeper wants a low contract release. Not really. He needs to prove to me that he can play. So again, we'll give him a 2-year deal. Let's knock this down just a little bit salary-wise, just to help out. Hopefully we can get some more players here. Alright, I think that's all that I'm going to do this day. Let's keep simulating up here. Alright, so the 26 is a club ranking update. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, we got a cutscene. Season objectives, the end of the season, so I'm not surprised that the chairman there has been very supportive of Eric's in this campaign. He's exceeded his expectations for sure. And now, we lost our keeper. Oh no, that is not good. Yeah, he's an Antwerp. That's a bit of a blow. I need another keeper, and he could have been a starter for us for the next campaign. All right, Holdner's still negotiating. He's kind of pushing back a little bit. I figured as much from his club. Caligara's progressing. Okay, Fiordalicio is coming down, so that's good. Yeah, Caligara is getting some offers here. I'm not surprised. His release fee is super low right now. And we got to get this resolved. So let's take a look. Alright, so they're not willing to budge, it looks like. 137,400. Let's see. I'm just trying to see. Yeah, they're not willing to budge. So let's let's not renegotiate that. Let's hold off on that response. We could afford a 1.3 million. I don't think that's a problem, and it's not going to hurt our salary budget. This was a bit of a blow, so we need to go look for another keeper. Potentially, that's a bit of a blow. Yeah, let's go ahead and pull the trigger on the winger here that we're putting on loan, because we definitely need to add some more depth to the wing position. Let's go ahead and accept this deal. I'm gonna be fine with that. Don't feel like we're gonna get that down any lower. All right, so we've got 3 players on the books. One more that we could sign if we get some space, and we're needing another goalkeeper. That's a bit annoying. All right, let's look at Caligara's contract. He's still negotiating nicely, so let's keep coming down just one at a time. If I can get him down about 2 or 3 more clicks, I think I'll be pretty happy. Fiordalicio, I don't know if we'll be able to accept this deal. We'll just keep knocking it down the best we can. He's going to get a cheap win bonus. We can't do anything about that. All right. Let's take a look at Bocolone here and see if we're willing to pull the trigger on this deal. All right, so he's made deals for 1.13. He is a market value of 1.15 million. It's pretty close. If they would have accepted our last offer, I probably would have said yes to this. But you know what? I got things considered. He is going to fall a little bit on the depth chart to the 2 new wingers we brought on, but we definitely need him as a bench option. He's been solid for us, so I think we'll go ahead and accept or end this negotiation. Tell Benvenido thanks but no thanks. I want to keep Bocolone on the books for a little bit longer. Alright, so let's look for a goalkeeper, because it is a weak point of our team. We have 2 decent goalkeepers. Lazzarini, he had a good season, but he's not a standout goalkeeper, and I'm really not looking for a standout. I'm looking for just a good rotation player. And I'll show you how I've gone about doing that. So I've got a free agent list here. Did I sort by annual salary? I can't remember. Alright, let's sort this down by 1.104 and see. Alright, position, goalkeeper. Alright, I'm not going to be too picky if they have a team role or not. Alright, so there's going to be some good players here that we could potentially snag, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to pay for it. So, again, we're going to look for players that fit our system. See, a lot of these players aren't going to fit, so you're taking a chance on them. Okay, this guy, he might, okay, that's the player we just applied for. Can't go back in for him. So the next guy would be this free agent here. He's a little bit older, but he's slightly better. The Lithuanian keeper. Alright, so we can't negotiate right at this time, so we'll come back to the goalkeeper. Let me save this real quick so I don't lose it. Alright, so let's save that goalkeeping mess. Okay. Let's keep simulating here. We'll simulate up to the, looks like a day before the game. Alright, Frozen 1 has given us an offer. They are getting promoted as well, so not much sense in us leaving. Villanova has offered Ericsson a job, and of course Valencia has decided to extend Ericsson as well, which we are going to stay. Here's our bonuses for the season. Taking a look at the results, increase the budget for next season, and we're going to get $8 million. Now that's going straight into the transfer budget, not my salary, which is good news because then we can really break the bank on players. But for the time being, I'm pretty happy with how things are going here at Valencia for Ericsson. You can see the list of clubs here that have given us offers. Serie B, no. League 2, and Benvenido. Looks like they didn't go up. So I'm going to go ahead and accept this deal. And just plan on coming back to Valencia. Alright, is there any negotiations going on? Nope, he's still negotiating. He's still negotiating. Yeah, okay. Alright, so there, we've accepted his deal, we've accepted that deal. Rizzo. Alright, so let's see if we can get that goalkeeper now. We should be able to. He's not as good as this guy. This guy would have fit perfectly. He's really high, but this guy does fit our mold, does fit our system that we play currently. I counter long, wide attacking, which is all that I can really ask for. Let's see if they'll negotiate. He would welcome a move to our club. And he wants a release fee. 2 years is reasonable for a keeper. He's worth 80. I think to be safe, let's bump him up here. Let's knock it down to 112. See if he'll be willing to go that high. Because I don't want to break my budget either with these players. Hopefully we can get a keeper sorted on a free. I think that's probably the way to go. Because I don't think there's one on loan that I can... I guess we'll do our due diligence here. Let's take a look on loan here. I should have bumped that market value up. That's fine. Let's look at a goalkeeper. Is there any goalkeepers on loan that could be like studs? Oh yeah. We could really break the bank here. Could go for Losil from Everton, Leeds, yeah. And I think all these players are just a matter of finding the one that fits my system the best. Nope, not that one. I think that one, Gomes. See, I don't want to go to South America. Nothing wrong with South American player, just not what I'm looking for. Counter wide again, another South Argentinian player. Okay, Monaco keeper. 500 market value. It could be a starter for us. Looks pretty decent. 37 though. He's up there. Swiss keeper. He would be an experienced piece for sure, but I don't know if I'd Let's see if there's anybody else that's younger with the same price range. Nah, I think he's gonna be it. We'll put him on the list. That way I remember to pull the trigger on that one, because he would actually be a pretty decent fit without breaking my bank. Alright, let's keep simulating up here. We're almost to the end of the window. Still got the farewell match with all the veterans retiring. Scouting result. Okay, got some new players. Caligari is still progressing. He's not entirely okay. Fiordalisio's not quite happy with the club. Yeah, he's having to share playing time, so it's not surprising. Alright, market value, Caligari. Can we keep negotiating? Alright, so that's about as high as I'm willing to go. We've been able to talk him down. So let's see if he'll take that. Alright, so let's keep negotiating here. This one. Again, I want to keep that win bonus low. Don't want to overpay. So keep knocking this down slowly but surely. Let's take a look at the scouts here, see what they found. Alright, so Cousins from Stoke. Looks like a good player. Doesn't quite fit my system. I definitely could use some midfielders. Let's see, over here. Techie for Granada, 23, another midfielder. Oh, he actually fits pretty nicely in our system. Yeah, real nice actually. Alright, so he is what? 1 million market value, release fee. Salary. Salary's a bit high. Let's see, he doesn't have a team role, so yeah. Again, this player would probably somebody I would consider to put on loan, so let's add him to the list anyway. And see if things could pan out there. Go ahead and skip this match. I don't care if we win or lose. Doesn't really matter at the end. And we lost 2-0, not a surprise. Alright. Final day of the season here in our last day in Serie B. We'll take a look at negotiations. Okay, Suchu's received an offer. Okay, Suchu's not somebody I would be okay. Stanichev. Must be signed outright. Are you sure about that? Alright, market value. Let's take a look at Suchu here. It's 162, so his value did go back up a little bit, but not. He's definitely fallen off a cliff here. His potential's gone. But he's been he'll be a serviceable reserve player. But, he's still a reserve player, so he's probably going to be looking for minutes. Let's offer him, he's 162. So let's offer him, the whole thing, 140. We'll offer, they need to pay at least 140. I want market value from my players. Alright, Stanichev. I thought I had Stanichev on a bond. Yeah, I guess his contract renewed. Can we renew it? Yeah, we can. Okay, so he's eligible. Alright, so Stanichev's got an offer. He's a player I kind of want to put on loan next season because we've added so much depth to our defensive backs, and he's a player we picked up through our academy. I'm going to see if they're willing to match the 257.6. Okay. Alright, so it's this full. Alright, you're gonna. We'll see if they're willing to negotiate. If not, they'll back out of the deal. That's fine. We'll consider it for next year. Alright, so that takes care of that. We're still negotiating with that keeper. That other keeper from Monaco might be better, but this guy's a little bit younger, so it's somebody a little bit more serviceable, and it doesn't hurt our transfer budget as much. Just you'll need some salary, but you know that salary at 112 is I can live with that. Okay, I still don't have a spot for Monaco. I need Lakovic to go to free up a spot for Monaco to join. That's the plan anyway, because I am full of defenders right now. I have plenty of defenders. Just the other positions I need to fill up. Alright, so it's the end of the season. Let's take a look at some stats here. Let's get a good idea here of what's going on before we move forward. Club performance. Alright, so we'll take a look at. We already know we've won. Let's take a look at the goal rankings here. Finished 5th with Zagoni, Capello, Offsaw, honorable mention as well down there in 16th. They all had a good season. Goal assists for Amaru, tied for 3rd with 9. Good campaign for him. He really kind of came through there towards the back half of the season. Of course, Zagoni was player of this season in Serie B, rightfully so. Even though he didn't get top scorer or assist, but Eriksson also the best manager in the league. So we're just to him. We'll take a look at the team of the season. We got 4 players here. Filicoli, Caligari, Lolo, and Zagoni make team of the year. So that's why it's important. That's what Caligari wants that big that big contract extension, because he's making the big boy bucks here, moving up to Serie A and being on the team this season for Serie B. Let's take a look at the season results. Player results. Let's take a look. Coppa Italia. We'll take a look to see who won. Juventus won, beat Napoli. You can see where we ended up. We getting into Milan and got absolutely stomped in the second game, even though we made it competitive, but just not to be. Hopefully we'll have a better run of it next time. Let's take a look real quick at the rest of the playoffs, because that is now finished, shaken out. So the 3rd team going up the season is Ascoli, as they win in the final over 2 legs over Benvenuto 4-1. So Eriksson outduels Benvenuto's, the former Venezia manager in Inzaghi, who's over at Benvenuto. He gets to stay down while Eriksson goes up. But that is it for campaigns. For humor, I'm sure, yeah. Well, actually, oof, look at that. Juventus barely claims another Scudetto. Just 1 point over Inter there. And then Napoli was right there as well. Listen, only 3 points behind them. So, very competitive season in Serie A. And you can get a good idea there. Lecce, Bologna, and Hellas Verona are going down next season, as we are taking one of their spots. Alright. I'm just going to quickly save this real quick. Don't want to lose my data. Alright, one thing we should do before we leave. Let's do our favorite player. Alright, so at the end of the year, let's pick one player that we feel like was the difference maker in this side. And honestly, it's a pretty easy choice this season. There was just one player that stood up above the rest and was there and dependable. It was the league MVP and Zagoni, the 29-year-old poacher, who had a fantastic season. playing really well. He really came on there late. He's been just a real solid player for us, and he's a star player for the team as well. So we're going to go ahead and make Zagoni here our favorite player for season number 1. I'm pretty sure every one of you watching will probably agree with that assessment. But there's some other players in here that probably could take consideration. PES, I thought, had a fantastic year coming on, but he's still a depth center back for us technically. Our keepers were pretty solid through the year. Buckalone and Capello, the Cobra, really shined nice this year. Buckalone came on late, pretty strong as well, but Zagoni is probably the most consistent over the entire season, and made it pretty easy for me to choose him. An argument could be made for Lolo as well. He had a fantastic year when he was playing. So, but I think Zagoni being named Ericsson's favorite player for year number 1, I think is a fair assessment. All right, so it is finally time to simulate up here, as we've been chatting away for over 30 minutes. This is going to be a long video, so bear with me. We'll go ahead and proceed to the next season and have deal with some cutscenes and get some players coming into the side for next year. Actually, hold on. Make sure we've negotiated everything. Yeah, we're still negotiating. Okay. Yep, let's go right into it here and move on to the next season. And there's the confirmed relegation promotion switch. Alright, so now the club has been promoted to Serie A for this season. This is where things get serious. Yeah, you're telling me. Alright, opening day of the transfer window. We have a lot to do here at this juncture. And there you can see one of the newest signings coming on board to Valencia here. I believe that's Bidoui, the Spiza winger that we brought in. And he's getting interviewed here with the chairman. And it's hopefully going to be a even better bolster to our attack for next season. Hello, yep, it is Bidoui. I'm super excited about joining the club. So, come on, you Valencia. So it's good to see his enthusiasm. He was our big signing that we did late last year 1. All right, so we're going right into the setting the goals. It's going to be interesting what the boards say for us here, goal-wise. I get the feeling I'm probably going to get a pretty good idea of what we're going to end up with. A realistic goal is to avoid relegation. One day we'll compete for the top spot of the league, but for this season we need to bide our time and maintain our place. What do you think? I couldn't agree more. This season is going to be more challenging than the previous one. The competition alone is going to be difficult. So I'm definitely going to agree that we just work to not get relegated this season. And I think Ericsson's going to pass that along. I think last season the goal initially was like, oh, let's make into the playoff spots, and Ericsson's like, no, let's focus to get in the mid-table. But we exceeded those expectations pretty quickly. All right, so everybody seems to be on board with the decision here of to just do what we can to stay afloat here in Serie A, start building the foundation for Valencia to be a regular here in this league and not be just a one and done. All right, so I've got a lot to do here off camera, so we're just gonna cut right here for our power video editing. I'll come back in and get you up to speed before I simulate up forward to the next day. Oh, another cut scene. We got a new player coming on board. This is Monaco, this center back that we've been waiting to bring on board until we got some defenders off the books. So he's getting a view of the pitch here as he's getting ready to join him and Erickson start the campaign off here this season. And he's happy to join Valencia. I believe he was from Consenza, was where he came from. Alright, our newest signing has come on board. His name is Chico Flores from La Liga. A bit of a steal that we were able to find. He's a bit older. He's in his early 30s, but still very serviceable for this club as a defender. Again, bolstering that back line to be even better going forward. Gone ahead and skip well into the transfer window here. We are 1 day away before the first game of Season 2, and let's take a quick look at the player exits, as there's been a lot of activity going on. Obviously, Bruno and Sensei have not been released yet. They're still on the books. Perugini, Adorni, Paz, Vidui, we knew who signed, so starting at Gerdemann, that's here on the left side, goalkeeper. We brought him on to bolster our goalkeeping depth after the loss of Pomni. We freed up some center backs here to sign Monaco and Chico Flores. Two scheduled slated to be new starters in the back line. Hopefully it will help ensure our defense is much stronger going into the campaign. Stanichev we put on a loan along with Caradona, so those young defenders get some experience because they're kind of buried on the depth chart a little bit. Rizzo we brought on loan from Cittadella, again another defensive signing to bolster the back line. Holdener is the winger we found on loan to fill in as an attacker. He's going to slide in quite nicely into that starting lineup. And then another player our scouts found is Etike, center mid. We need a lot of depth in the center of the park, so it's good to see that we got him on loan from Granada. And that is going to do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for sitting through this very long video. Thankfully, I'm not going to show the whole 3.5 hours it took me to go through this, but wanted to make sure we're doing our due diligence here and get ready for the next season. So stay tuned for year number 2 of the Master League, and I will go over some new changes to the game board and some other stuff prior to that next episode. So again, thank you so much for everybody for your support. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it, and if you want more content, just hit the subscribe button. So until next time, take care, and I'll see you guys around.